Good morning, grade 4 students. Mr. Waterman here with today's mathematics lesson in period 4 on Wednesday, January 20th, 2021. I hope everyone is doing safe and well. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do with you all today is I'm going to go through the table of contents and just review a few things with you. Okay, when we are able to come back to school, Miss Harris and I will have to give you a test. So it's going to be a good idea for you all to make sure you review the videos and review any of the work that you have done, especially with adding fractions, adding subtracting fractions with like denominators, classifying triangles, adding up, subtracting mixed numbers, and then everything we have done with decimals so far. Decimals, tenths and hundredths, decimals, thousandths, mixed numbers and decimals, fractions and decimal equivalents, and compare and order decimals. Okay? So, let's have a look at the answers for last week's activity, which was compare and order decimals. Okay? I'll do a quick read through for the practice sheet. Number 1, less than, 2, greater than, 3, greater than, 4, greater than, 5, equal, 6, greater than, 7, less than, 8, greater than, 9, greater than, 10, less than, 11, less than, and 12, less than. Ordering numbers from least to greatest. 13, 3.40, 3.31, 3.13, 3.04. 14, 6.50, 5.6, 5.09, 5.06. 15, 11.11, 11.1, 10.10, 10.01. 16, 25.50, 22.5, 22.05, 20.52. 17, 9.81, 9.57, 9.34, 9.05. 18, 49.81, 4.98, 4.89, 4.08. 19, 8.17 is less than 8.71. And for number 20, if you wrote 4.6, I will accept that answer. There can be more than one answer here. For homework, the homework sheet. Number 1, less than, 2, less than, 3, greater than, 4, equal to, 5, greater than, 6, less than, 7, less than, 8, less than. Number 9. For this part, you had to order the numbers from least to greatest, smallest to biggest. 9, 0.384, 3.084, 3.842, 38.42. 10, 5.045, 5.40, 5.45, 5.54. 11, 7.05, 7.59, 7.95, 57.01. 12, 1.654, 1.665, 16.45, and 16.54. For the last question, going from least to greatest, 9.73, 9.79, 9.8, 9.89. 9.73 is the lowest score, 9.89 is the highest score. So that takes care of your answers for last week's activities. Today, we are going to have a look at, and I'm going to write it in my table of contents, add and subtract decimals. And I'm going to be working on page 12 today because the last few lessons I've needed more than one page. Okay, so I'm on page 12. I write my title again. Add and subtract decimals. Okay, the first thing I'm going to start with is my objective. And my objective this week is really easy. Why is that? Because it's the same as the title. Add and subtract decimals. Okay? So let's use Taejun in today's example. So I'm going to write out what Taejun is doing. Taejun is visiting the Mayan ruins. At Zumul. The governor's palace stands on a series of 4 platforms. One of the platforms is 1.25 meters high. Another is 7.5 meters high. So now we want to find out what is the total height of the 2 platforms. So whenever I see the word total, I know I want to add to find the answer, right? So We don't know what our answer is yet, so we know that we're going to add. And we have to add 1.25 plus 7.5. That's going to give us n. N is our mystery number, which is the answer. We don't know what n is yet. Okay, so what do we do first? Well, as with everything in math, we do it in steps. Step 1. You need to line up the decimal points. That's the most important thing you can do. If your decimal points are not lined up correctly, your answer is going to be a mess. Meaning wrong. Okay? So here's what I like to teach students, what's quite helpful. Let's take 1.25. Okay, and we're going to add that to 7.5. Okay, do you see how I've lined up my decimal points? Right. So this 5, it's all by itself here, right? There's nothing under it. So what you can do is you can put a 0 in the hundredths place. Okay? Place a 0 in the hundredths place. Step 2. Write the decimal point in the answer. Okay, so what does that mean? Let's go back. We're going to write 1.25 plus 7.50. Before I do anything, I'm going to put my decimal point here in the answer. Now, why am I doing that? I'm doing that because oftentimes when students go ahead and they add things up, they quickly write the answer, but they forget the decimal point. Okay? So now, let's add. We just bring our 5 down. 2 plus 5 is 7. And 1 plus 7 is 8. So our answer is 8.75. Okay? Now, you can use step 3. Step 3, you can estimate to check. This means you round and add. Now, what does that mean? I will show you. 1.25, well, when you estimate, that rounds to 1. Okay? I'll just write that out. Rounds to 1. Okay? 7.50 rounds to 8. So 1.25, we go down to 1. 7.5, anytime you have 5 or more, you go to the next number. So that's why we go to 8. So 1 plus 8 is 9. We can say that 8.75 is close to 9. Okay? So that's a step-by-step process. Step 1, step 2, and step 3 to add. So finally, our answer is, I'm going to go up and write it here so I can keep it together. I'm going to say the total height of the two platforms is 8.75 meters. There we go. Okay. So now that I've done that, now let's look at a subtraction question. Because Taejun loves doing math when he goes on vacation. So now what does he want to know? I'll go to the next page. If the height of all 4 platforms is 18.05 meters, what is the combined height of the remaining, or the other, 2 platforms? So now we have a subtraction question, okay? So we have the total height of all 4 platforms, right? So that is 18.5. So we need to subtract. And this is going to be 18.05 minus, what was our answer before? 8.75 equals, again, our mystery number, n. Okay? What do you think I'm going to do next? Steps. That's correct. Step 1. This should be very easy for you all, right? You're going to line up the decimal points. And subtract. Let's do that now. 18.05 minus 8.75. All nice and lined up, right? Step 2. You're going to write the decimal point in the answer. So I'm going to write it again. 18.05 minus 8.75. The first thing I do is I put my decimal point in. There we go. Now, let's subtract. we need to start borrowing, don't we? Right? Because we'll bring this 0 down here first. I'm going to cross this out, make it a 10. And 10 minus 7 is 3. We are borrowing. We're borrowing lots and lots and lots here. Make that a 17. 17 minus 8. That is going to give us 9. Our answer is 9.30. Okay. Now, step 3. Skip a line here. Step 3. We need to add to check. This is a very important step. You want to know if you have the correct answer. So, 8.75 plus 9.30. Line up our decimal points, right? 5 plus 0 is 5. 7 plus 3 is 10. Put your 0 here. Carry your 1. 8 plus 9 is 17. And 1 is 18. That gives us 18.05. Okay? So now, all of this for our answer. I have space to write it down here. The combined height of the remaining 2 platforms is 9.3 meters. And there you have it. Okay? 2 full pages of notes, step by step, in how to add and subtract decimals. Okay? You can go back and you can review these. Now, let's look at what you're going to be doing for practice. For practice this week, you have 21 questions. Add or subtract, and then you can check your work. Okay? Just make sure you have the correct answers. Okay? Remember, if you're adding and subtracting money, to please write the $sign as well. Okay? All right. Should we do a few together? Why not? Number 1, 4.5 plus 3.8. Remember, the first thing I'm going to do is to put my decimal point in place. 5 plus 8 is 13. So I write my 3, carry my 1. 4 plus 3 is 7, and 1 is 8. My answer is 8.3. Okay? Do the same when you subtract. 4.8 minus 2.5. Put your decimal point in place. 8 minus 5 is 3. 4 minus 2 is 2. Okay? Please work through the rest. And then, for your homework page, you have plenty to keep you busy this week. Again, add or subtract, check your work. So they give us an example. 19.27 minus 6.4. Line up the decimal points, subtract. Write the decimal point in the answer, and then you subtract. And then you can estimate to check your answer. So the answer is 12.83, which is close to 13. So the answer makes sense. Okay? So we've already done examples, so I think you guys should be pretty good to just add and subtract. The last numbers here look to be cut off, so I think that is 23 point, I didn't notice that before, $23 and let's say 10 cents plus $15.40. So just make it easy for you guys. Sorry, that's cut off. Okay. And then that's it. So just follow the directions. Okay. For this part here, you have to place the decimal point in the correct place so you can get the correct answers. Okay. So the answer is 11.86 for 11, number 11. Where do the decimal points go? Hint, 2.07 plus 3.5 plus 6.29. Okay, and we'll check answers in next week's class. If you all have any questions, please feel free to email Mr. Waterman at any time. You have everything you need for this week's lesson. You can study the notes, and then I'm also attaching the textbook pages, okay? You could also review from those. Take care and stay safe and be well, everyone. I hope we are able to come to school again very soon, okay? If not, we'll just continue with online lessons. I really appreciate you guys taking the time each week to bear with me and to watch the videos. We are all doing the best that we can here, okay? Hope to see you all very soon. Bye-bye for now.